types of things happening. We are being born strong, but then we get weak once we out. The environment. Okay, so now they have gotten to a point now where they used to blame the mother for a lot of genetic problems. They didn't mess up the semen. So you have defective sperm. So they can count on if the mother's all right and the father not, you'll still get a messed up child. Okay, that's genetic engineering. You could glow in the dark. They could tell you where you live based on your feces, so what you eat, because where it's grown. They could tell what kind of wheat you eat based on where you live. They have different types of wheat that grow this way, bloom out that way. Some of it's dark, some of it's beige. Okay? Now if they can do that, they can tell out what kind of food substance you're eating from your feces. So they know what we're putting in the body, what's going to the brain. And when they know what a man eats, they know how a man thinks. So if you're carnivorous and you eat meat, they know they got steroids in that meat. So you're getting your teeth now starting to lock, your jaw starting to lock, you're starting to salivate, you see the juice running from the meat, and you're just ready. Did you see the vampires on TV about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the people with the vampires? Real people. And they lusting after blood. And they marking each other. They stopped getting around the neck because they didn't want people to question them. So now they're doing the legs and arms and the thighs, actually sucking blood from each other. But that's not any different than our brothers and sisters that live in Ethiopia and Kenya, who are nomadic, and they just, yes, cut the throat of their cattle, put a little blood in, and mix it. But the people down south call it blood pudding. Okay? Okay? So we need to understand that there's nothing wrong with it. It's the order that you do it in, so that it doesn't become disorder. So now I don't want to walk down the street and see Barnabas Collins or, you know, the vampire coming, because I'm about ready for all of that, because I know it's happening. It's happening. And the raw the meat, the more conditioning you get for that blood when you cut it. See, you get conditioned first for the smell, and then the juice, and then the blood. Okay, so you might actually bite somebody and like it. Okay, so when you're eating rare meat, you're in rare form. All right? So what's happening now is, so you have people who actually tell you they got to have a steak. They got to have steak and potatoes and all this. The sisters, you're responsible for this. Stop cooking this madness. Because if you don't, you're making a carnivorous animal eating in your house might eat you. And I don't mean in that way. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to tell you is, and then our sons, they be hyped up. They playing ball, they're on the team, and they souped up, and the coach is giving them 25 mega burgers. And when they come home, they expect you to feed them like that too. So now I'm looking at the girls, or the young men and the young women. The young women bodies now is squaring off. They're getting square bodies. They're not getting curved. Even if you was plumpy, you would have a little curve or something. They're not doing that no more. Them girls is getting straight, blocky bodies. And they wearing their hats like the brothers, and they walking down the street like this, right? And they holding where whatever's supposed to be here, they be like this. Now, if these are the women that's going to be having our children, then we have some serious problems. So now we have to deal with, how did that thing get out of order? And it got out of order because a lot of the brothers were allowed to just do whatever they wanted to do. We raised the daughters and spoiled the sons. Oh, he can't change the baby's diaper. Oh, he can't cook this. Give that boy another helping of this food. Okay, you saw that movie? Hercules. You saw that? I didn't want to see it. I kept going like this. You know, but I had to watch it because, see, that man is a genius to be able to put the life form on screen. I grew up in houses like that. Everybody was sitting at the table gorging. And I had to keep feeding them. And whatever they left us is what me and my sisters ate. If it wasn't nothing, it wasn't nothing. So I learned how to put the food in plastic bag and put it in the garbage. So when we take the garbage, I could feed them. Yeah. We couldn't take a bath in our own water. Take a bath in the water that you left. So I had to sit back now and start watching. Why is disorder in this house and I live in this house? Okay, and that's when I had to click into learning the socialization skills so I could survive in your grandmama's house with your cousins and your aunts. And when I realized, you know, my grandmother used to always say, when you have a man, you know, and a woman, if the woman is really wrong and bad, the man gonna leave her. He can't make her do right, he gonna leave. But if a woman has a man and he's wrong and he's bad, she be trying to fix him, trying to make him right, trying to feed him the most, trying to give him the most pussy, trying to have all his babies. It ain't gonna work. Okay, so my grandmother showed us how to do it. Just feed them the most, let them get drunk, go to sleep, and then we could do hair, we could do nails, we could play house, and we could have fun. Because you couldn't change them. Survival tactics. So I would just pile all kind of stuff on their plate. I didn't care if it was from last week. As long as they had their friends and they ate and they just got stuff. So we have to learn how to survive now. Because I'm talking about the survival rate of women going down. North New Jersey is #1 for HIV infection heterosexually. #2 for tuberculosis. And that's because a lot of the women in Newark still dealing with, and I'm not saying this in the bad sense of the word. Like, I've seen a lot of brothers here still have that southern thing, that southern kind of way, where women could get with them. These brothers are not like brothers where we live. Even if you call yourself hardcore, trust me, I know hardcore, you're not hardcore, like up there where I live. Okay? Because ain't nobody got no gun. I don't think maybe 1 or 2, but everybody ain't got no gun showing. Where I live, you have to stop at the door and you have to leave your gun. Okay, I'm telling you. All kind of devices will be beeping, you should go on off. And some people just protest, now we ain't giving it up. And I don't mean just brothers, I mean sisters and young boys. M16s and stuff, magnums. So it's a different kind of darkness. So now we're dealing with survival. The reason why we got like this was because it was allowed, because they know when you let people go to the far extreme, they're going to annihilate themselves. They're going to think it's them who's the enemy. They're going to think that we have to put each other in check because we're not good. They're going to have us killing each other, out-eating each other, out-lying each other. All of the madness is to the extreme because they need us to help get rid of each other, so it's less for them. We don't need thinking, clean men. That's what that society does not want. Most of the brothers who've been in and out of the prison system, they are institutionalized.
That's right.
Even though they look right, they're not rational. And then you got women who's running behind these men because you want to have a man in your life, in your house, in your bed. Right. Okay? You can't live like that. You can't think laying on your back. Right. It has to change. Because if it doesn't change, you're going to have defective children. And these defective children are going to be hostile against you. So that's why we have 4 generations under my age that's just messed up. Messed up. From the age of 12 years old to 42, 43 years old. 4 generations, 5 generations shut out. No respect, no moral consciousness, don't care. Them young brothers tell me they was born to die. You 12 years old with a gun on me. What happened to you in your life that made you want to die? We born to die, sis. Not this way. Or somebody smoking themselves to death. You got to die with something. I hear it all the time. Can't stop all of this stuff. If we stop all of it, we're just going to fall apart and die. I mean, I hear all this rationalization that's just sick. We have to stand back and say, wait a minute. This is not how your grandmother's mother did it. You cooked food with your hands, you baked bread, you did preserves. You had 3, 4, 5 family members in the house all the time. We didn't have latchkey kids. I feel very bad about my daughters having to come home and open their house up and I'm not there. I'm starting to get sick. I get nauseous, I vomit, all kind of stuff while I'm at work, trying to wonder, did they get home all right? Was there any crazy people on the porch? Drive-by shoes, I mean, because it happens like that. And then you start saying, wait a minute, you know, your kids say, get a dog, and I'm saying, get a man. And then I'm saying, nah, get a dog. And then I'm saying, not gonna feed the dog. All right, so you don't get nothing. Okay, or get a gun. So you lay there at night, you hear something, you just be like this. Yeah. Then you start saying, let me get some Drano and get some honey. Put the Drano and the honey together, the lie. It's thick. Or, it's so many survival tactics against us. We should not be our enemy.
That's right.
And for us to be scared of our own. I'm not worried about a European male coming to the black community attacking me. I'm scared of a brother. I'm not worried about one of them trying to rape me in the elevator. Okay? We don't go to police because we work for the police. Either you prostituting or you doing something.
That's right.
Even the ones that try to help you got to give them some.
That's right.
Okay? And then we got sisters that's done the same crazy stuff.
That's right.
Having babies for money. Okay? Or get pregnant or not pregnant, lie and say they're pregnant to get money from the man. Trying to keep the man, you get pregnant. You walk around trying to sway your stomach up, acting like you're pregnant. And you're not. Or you miscarry. That's your period. Tell the truth. Okay, we go through a lot of stuff just to hold on to something that's ill. So now we have to deal with, put ourselves in check. Put the mirror up there in front of your face. You know how you look and you don't want to see them little lumps and bumps and all? That's you. Okay, you're not a size 8 anymore? So what? Okay, like Patty say, you know, if you don't know me by now, you can't keep on going in this facade, an African butt in European jeans. It don't fit. We ain't shaped like them people. So we need to stop thinking like them. That's why we mess up out here. Okay? We need to understand that we need to feed ourselves live food. And I know it's difficult for you to think that you can just get on natural biotic food. It's not natural that's pure right now. Even the brown rice, you put that in water, and molasses come off. I know. The food is grown in the soil is contaminated. So how you going to get naturally good food? People who say, oh, Sister Assalamu alaikum, I got halal meat. Did you feed that animal yourself?
That's right, sis. Say it again.
I don't want to get all into that because you know what happens is they're going to choke my neck. But I know if you didn't raise it from the mother and fed the mother and gave the mother whole natural grain, see, so whatever's feeding us is feeding your chickens.
That's right.
And them same chickens is killing our people. And black folks is hung up on chicken. We got to have chicken. Okay? And the thing is we're not even looking, and I tell my kids all the time, look at how black folks kill and slaughter chickens to eat, and then step back and say, this is what they do to us, to eat us. We are eating each other alive. And another system has perpetrated that for us to do. If we became more naturalistic in our eating habits, natural foods and juices and fruits, we have more thinking because we have more oxygen to the brain, less impurities. You'd be getting up through the night. Instead of going to the bathroom at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, you'd be getting up to study. You'd be getting up to look outside and see the wonders of the universe out there in front of you, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay? You would be hyped up at 3 or 4 because melanin rises at that time, and that's when you really need to be sexual.
That's right.
Okay? That's the darkest shade of your penis and your scrotum is through the wee hours of the morning. And nipples and vagina. I'm telling you, I'll be checking this stuff out. I got daughters and sons. Let me see. Because I run my mouth too much. I got to know what I'm talking about. Okay, so, you know, so when little boys are little, they don't care because they just whip it out. You know, my son be saying, yeah, mine's black. Okay, okay. But you have to know that they know how to get us. Keep that down, period. Stay asleep. Get high. Take some pills. Do something during that time other than the right thing. So now when you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, why are you still tired? Because you done ate the wrong food, drank too much or whatever. You didn't go to bed peaceful. You probably argued and fussed and fight. Okay? And you ain't getting none, or you got some and it wasn't what you wanted. So we have to redirect this energy because that also takes a toll on your life. The way you go to bed is the way you wake up. My grandmama used to say, you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. So now if we're laying down with some positive thought, and some positive energy and people around you, you have this energy where you can't wait. And you know that home is there for you to come home to after you went out to the job or the workplace. You have to beat the path back home. And we have forgotten how to do that because we're too busy trying to get dressed and get out. Okay? And if we don't watch ourselves, first of all, there ain't going to be too many jobs left because this whole economic system has been crushed. Okay, we just playing with fake money now. HMOs and all them little green cards and MasterCards and all that stuff. That's fake stuff, plastic stuff. It's not real. Okay, and we need to look again to the south for growing things. So you got a lot of land down here. We got a concrete jungle up there. Very few of us can grow things. I mean, know how to grow things, but to be able to get that concrete out of the yard, you got to have some serious brothers come in and chop it up. And they're all brothers that will break up the land for you. But because they have to be hidden and tucked away, because they've done some things in this system that they can't be seen, okay, you got to feed them and try to keep them alive because they're experts in what they do, but they can't be known about. Okay? And then if someone try to get down here to get caught on the road because you're driving with somebody who got 20 kilos or some dumb stuff or some guns. So we can't trust anymore that, brother, I'll give you a ride. And you look for him and don't see him, they locked up. So what we have to do is the manpower down here is different. There's still that hospitality, that 2 or 3 brothers come and push the car down the street and help you. See up there to help push the car, and then they take your car. They bump up against your car, and you think you're getting out to see what happened. Click, click, they got your car. And they keep your wife in the car because they're going to deal with her. Okay? So it's a whole nother vibe. So what we have to do, and we have to do this, is get some jars, put that wheat and that honey and that flour and that sugar and whatever else you need, put it in the basement. I watch my grandmother pinch stuff like that, you know. And I can say, why she don't give it to us? Why she keep it pinching it? But when you need it, it's there. Don't talk about it because people know you got it, they come to get it. Okay? Learn how to disinfect certain things, you know, with natural things. You can use bleach to disinfect water. You can put lemon in water. Boil it, put the lemon in water, put a cap on it. Because all you have to do is reboil that. Okay? And just let it sit. There are ways that you can survive. But based on right now, you have to be cleaned, okay, and do another side to your body because we're not living as long as we should live. And the streets are taking us. Miseducation is taking us. Bad water is taking us out. Believe me, your faucets. You know, everything is contaminated. So people got these little glasses now and they put the little filter in. Filter what? And they'll say, well, you don't have this element in it, but what element is still in it? You have high concentration in New Jersey, Edison, all I call them fake towns. New Brunswick, South Brunswick, Whippany, all those are prefabricated towns, like they rose up overnight. All the structures are just prefab. Okay, and those people have high concentrations of cancer. We have women in those areas who are having babies, and the baby got cancer in the womb. Okay, we have babies being born with deformities, one eyes, no arms, no heart, and no head, and living because they're attached to a twin. And you know, you work and look and study it before you separate the little artery and vein. So before you, okay, they do all kind of work. And the thing about it is, we be having babies in our worst physical condition and still survive. That is what's amazing. So they would like very much to get into the whole genetic makeup of you. So that genetics, can you imagine 5,000 Hitlers walking down the street at you? If they can clone one, they can clone 5,000. With no spirit, no consciousness, no empathy, no sympathy for you. They just program. Like them canine dogs, program. Can you see these kind of people coming at you? If they can make a sheep and a monkey, what stopped them from making people already? When they show you the sheep and the monkey, they already did human.
That's right, sis. Teach. That's true.
So now, what are we waiting on? 25 Machiavellis to show up? Okay, you go to the store and you see somebody look like you? Okay? We need to know that their whole concept, first of all, anything weaker than you is going to spend as much time as it can to have the appearance of being stronger than you and greater than you and before you.
Excuse me, who's driving the Cadillac? In the corner. Thank you.
So when we deal with this thing, when I see us as a whole powerful nation. I don't care if it's two people. When I see one brother coming down the street and he's like clean, his eyes, his skin, his hair, and you know he clean, it's where you just kind of like want to be there. And whoever his woman is, she going to be stepping to your butt because she know you see exactly what she see.
That's right.
Okay? So that's one of the ways you can have 4 or 5 wives, because there's really not enough men to go around that are clean and right and good and humanitarian.
That's right. That's right.
All right? And you know, and I don't mean humble to the women, but humble to right.
That's right. That's right.
So when women don't have that humility shown in a man, they just go off of whatever's out there.
That's right.
So you got some more disorder, because see, they acting out. They're acting out, they're being rebellious because they want to have power that's recognized. They're only acting out what they see. Now, I don't like bringing up like things that we've done and gotten through and gotten out of, but hiding it behind in the closet. We don't need fraudulent fathers anymore.
No.
But for women to have children without the male figure in the house, that was a wrong, that was a mistake, that was a no-no. Okay, and so for women to have to survive having babies and taking them to school and going to work, and the father had to leave based on this social pressure, all that did was set up the powder keg for women now to kill kids.
That's right.
So if you can leave them, you can kill them.
Yes.
If you can go work for that man and his sister, be dressed up in a little teeny skirt with a little suit on, a little briefcase, little gray stockings and your sneakers while you riding on the bus or the train with your paper folded in half, and you're just too cute with your little green contact lenses and everything fake. If you can do all that, you ain't think about no kids. Just like going to buy me a Shirley Temple doll again. Why? It's all fake. But that's your world. So now if we've had to live in the world that was not made by us and perpetrated by us, okay, now we have to put up with those children looking around. Where's their mother? Where's their father? Where's their auntie? Where's their sister? They're out in the street. So somebody got to put the men back in the house.
That's right.
And if you can't put them back in the house, then you better birth them in the house and keep them in the house. Because if you don't, they will be used against us. Because there's no reason for you to not like us. You should not be scared of us. But right now is at a point where we feel very, very, I feel that most men are intimidated. I don't mean they just hate us. But if you're uncomfortable around somebody like me, the system set it up like that.
That's right.
I didn't do that.
No, all right.
Okay? I still love you anyway, and I could still be fearful of you. I would rather cripple you than kill you. But now if it gets to a point where I fear you that much, then I will have to try to give you some pussy and kill you. Because I'm not going to let you walk back in the door and kill me. I'm going to have to fool you like the sisters out there in hoochies. Okay? So they're giving up everything now. So we have brothers that can say they have 4 or 5 or 6, or they had her, slap each other 5, and it's cool. Now you have sisters say, I'm going to get in there.
That's right. Right.
I'm going to have his baby.
That's right.
I want a light, high yellow, wavy hair, gray-eyed baby. I want a beautiful baby. What's wrong with the big black one?
That's right. Teach.
we have a problem. And the only way we can fix it is for those brothers who feel that they have some kind of infiniteness, infinite wisdom to be with women, set the thing in motion again where it looks like it's all right for us to be with you. Because we have whole households in Newark with just women. And I mean, I know that's all over. But we have women who purposely set up households with women so they can have children and don't have no men. We have sisters who go get artificially inseminated to have children, but they don't want no men. European women doing it a long time, but now we got sisters doing it. On Thursdays, you get artificially inseminated. I mean, I'm not going to, the thought has crossed my mind. But I want to know where you live, I want to know what you got, who's your mother. In other words, I really want to be family. But I don't want to take on that extra grief. I don't feel like arguing and fussing because I had to go to Georgia, or I have to go to Whippany, or I got to go to Virginia. This is where I'm going, this is where I was asked to come. That I don't feel like going through that grief based on where you're going. No, you can't. I don't want to go through that. So to keep from having to do that, I have to be by myself. I don't want to. But my children don't grieve me like that. My sons don't grieve. They my fathers and my brothers. What time you coming back? Who you going with? Why you gotta go? I'll take you. Okay, because they don't want that involvement. They're only looking out for me. And that's because there's nobody else looking out for me like that. And that's the part that's pitiful, because when you sit and think of it, your children are your children. They're not your mate. So we have a lot of women who are not mated just based on once they got out of it, they don't want to go back. Okay? So we have to put something back. And I don't mean that sisters need to get used to the idea of polygamy, because you got somebody else anyway, but now you want to know who she is. You want to know where she lives. You want to know how many kids she got. That's causing grief right now, because the sisters have not been raised up with each other from infancy, from 5 years old, from 7 years old. They don't know your personality. They don't know your lifestyle. So it's very difficult to push polygamy on a group of women, a nation of women who are used to being very arrogant and aggressive, having to maintain a family. It's very hard. Okay, and for you to tell women to sit down and shut up, they're the ones going to work. Okay, we have brothers who want to work. It's not like all men don't want to work. But if you get used to selling some stupid stuff out here and you can make $2,000, $3,000 in a day, you're going to do that. Okay, them boys on the street is doing it. I mean, they're making mad hand over fist money. It's wrong. And you have the mothers and the grandmothers who keep telling them, boy, don't you do that, boy, don't you do that. Well, stop taking that coat from them. Stop taking that pocketbook from them. Stop moving in this house over here from them. Okay, meaning we know what's going on. It has to stop. It has to be some strong men to come in and say, no more. Cut this shit out. A man will fear another real man. You're not going to have a roommate and you sleeping in the same house with a man and he chump you off. Okay? He going to move out. If he's scared of you, he going to move out. Women be trying. It's not going to work. We have to fix it. And it's very difficult right now because we have too many things in its way. So in order to get some order, like I tell people who are separating from their family, like men are leaving their wives or their women leaving the men, public service, I don't know what your utility organization is called, public service, people that run your lights, they're always open. If you're not with your wife and she got your kids, send her money order every month. What's the problem? You ain't got to send it to her. Right. Send it down. You know the address. That's right. Phone bill. You know the phone bill. So put the little money order in there in the form of pay to the order of. Okay. Oh, she got somebody else. He won't let you come and visit the kids. I'll tell you something. If you have children by a woman, if you have children by a woman and she has another man, if you're doing right by them children, she gonna always have you in her life. I don't care if you on the moon. Okay, even if you dogged her and got some sense later, and you got another man there, that little money order and check is there, or that little money order went to pay that bill, or the school or whatever you trying, she gonna always have you in her life. He gonna leave. He not gonna deal with you sending little stuff off where he can't intercede it. He's not gonna have that. So if you're gonna be about right, you have to do it now while you still got some youth about you, some quickness about you, some mind over some things about you, because when you get 75 and 80, you're gonna think about it. And those kids now are going to be 30 and 40, and they're going to disrespect you because they're going to say, Daddy didn't try. Not Mama didn't try, Daddy didn't try. Even Tupac said he forgive his mama. That's right. And she was out there, and I was with him. Hey, give her a leaflet. She took too long, but it's all right. She was working. We say, well, wait. Between her and a couple other good sisters, we tried to give out 25 leaflets. He said, well, where did she go? She was trying. She had a good heart. But she got caught up. Okay, but he forgave her. For us that was like in it but not ever of it, it got real ugly because they was pulling us off the street too fast as far as the movement was concerned. They got to the ones that was weak. But if you have 10 strong men walk in the building, I mean, if you, I have done it. Ask brothers, just get 10 in a row, walk in the building and stand like this. Don't say nothing, just stand. Formation out, and don't say nothing, leave. They wonder, who was those brothers? Just some brothers on the street. Put the dashiki on them. Don't say nothing, just look around, just scrutinize and walk out. Scare people. Scare people. We have that ability just with our persona. Just by the way we walk. Don't nobody else walk like us. Don't nobody else walk like a brother. I don't care. I done been over the world. I done been to Egypt, Africa, I done been all over. And the brothers, they walk like black men, but don't nobody walk like brothers in the United States. I swear. Don't nobody play ball like us. They trying to copy this thing. So we got something with us, and everybody else checked it out. They ain't even want to try to get it no more. They're going to try to corrupt it and get rid of it. Now they bringing them brothers and sisters from Africa now, feeding them all kind of food, making them fat, playing ball, dunking like this, learning and study. I go there. Would you please sponsor me to come to the United States and play ball? That's right. They need to stay there, but because of the poverty, they're trying to get here, because here is better than what they think is there. Here they get money because they're tall and lean, very agile. But you can't play ball too skinny. They got to put some weight on you. You can't play football too skinny. They got to put some weight on you. So they come and get them when they're 15, 16. And feed them. And fatten them up. And turn them against us. Okay? And that's what's going to happen. This is the new Africa. We don't need to wait on people to come from across the water here to teach us. We need to be teaching them. They have not accepted us as an African. We're you people, or we're a black American. Okay? So we have to understand that even in their eyes and in their mouth, they consider us to be the nigger, the slave. So we have to do something about that. That means we really have to centralize our energies and ourselves to know. We need to love you and we need to keep you close. But you don't know us. We're trying to know you. I mean, we're trying to be about right, but the system has drug us so low, we like the snake. Okay? We need to get a life and need to know that everything that they showed you, flip it. You gotta flip it. Because whenever they showing you this stuff on TV, space travel, you're going to spend billions of dollars on UFOs that don't exist. Why would this country spend billions on something that didn't exist? Blasphemy. And you see them boys here, what, 2 weeks ago said they're going to heaven's door? Trust me, it's real. You saw Stargate?
Yes.
Okay? That's the gate they're talking about. If you read Ezekiel,
Come on with the wheel.
the wheel within the wheel, okay? Okay, you'll know that it was us there. Okay? More than one. All right? We have to know that those scriptures are talking about us. You have to go back to the Old Testament. You know, when you read and you don't know that the Persian Empire is Iraq and Iran. Stevie Wonder told you that. All right? The problem is till you be able to walk on the water and don't get wet. Right, Paula Funkadelis? You're not even going then. Right? Right? Okay? But see, we have to know that they was giving us the message in the Word then. Okay? And the last poets, they was giving the message. And then the brothers in the prisons, rapping for days non-stop. That's what they're doing now. It's not new. Okay? So now we have to put all that in bridges together and say, wait a minute. How come we ain't went nowhere with this? Okay? That's because they turned you on your own stuff. Told you it wasn't yours. It ain't no good. It's not viable. It ain't gonna work. It's some nigga shit. But they got gangsta rap. Okay? The gang. Okay? So once you understand that you got a gangster, that's a whole nother villain. Now you got the mafia. You got the Cosa Nostra. And they actually give loving titles to these families. They take care of their people. Okay? How come we can't take care of our people? They call it organized crime. Cancer also is an organization of unorganized cells. Now how come we can't be organized and fit? Jamaicans come here, cartels. Now the Nigerians got it. They running it. dead babies on the plane with dope in it. The women are very naive to technology here. So you getting on the plane coming to America, you got babies stuffed, dead babies with heroin.